I love that sound! Hey guys, Submoto here. So I have a little something I want to share with you. Check this out. I got a Megaton muffler from wrenchmonkeys.com. Look at that baby. Yeah, so the original exhaust muffler I got had a like a hole about the size of a ping pong ball or whatever on the inside, and it sounded horrible. All of a sudden it just like broke. Repairing it would have been like, I don't know, $100 or something, and these things are actually fairly cheap and they're pretty awesome. A lot of cafe racers and other bikes have them. Really cool muffler right here, and it's easy. It's just a slip on, so all I had to do was saw off the pipe and put this thing on, and that's it. And the best part is this. Isn't that cool? Can you imagine that? I didn't know it was going to sound that well. There's a reason that these pipes are used. Now, a big problem with switching pipes on a bike is going to be your back pressure, especially with more of an open pipe like this. If you change your pipes out, you're going to have you're not going to have problems, but you might run into problems. So, in order to counter the back pressure, or the lack of back pressure on this pipe, I got some steel wool. If you put steel wool on the inside just before you mount it, that kind of takes the back pressure, or puts some back pressure into it. Another thing I was thinking about was putting a decibel killer, because this thing is loud, man. I mean, freaking loud. So I was thinking of putting like a dB killer. And if you put a dB killer, it's like a little rod with holes in it. You can kind of just like put it in there and, you know, make sure it's secure. And that takes the worst part, like the top end, and also it creates some back pressure. So that's more of a permanent solution. And I was looking into, I just want to find a dB killer that's going to fit. Oh, my bike's dirty. Dirty. Anyway, so that's not what I was going to talk about today. That's just something I wanted to share with y'all. So I want to talk about riding your cafe racer or tracker or whatever, or custom bike in the rain. I would have done this on a rainy day. That was the plan. But I guess when you want it to rain, it won't, and when you don't want it to rain, it will. So we'll do it on a sunny day instead. So I went on a trip with the guys not too long, well, not too, about a year ago, last year. So we ride out there, it starts raining, and all of a sudden one of the guys breaks down, and then the next guy breaks down, and the next guy breaks down. Now, what had happened was a lot of guys will mount AirPod filters on their carbs directly, because that clears up the underside of the seat, and it looks awesome. It looks really cool. Power filters is what they call them, and have this really fancy name. Now, what happened was that with their fancy pants AirPods, they started getting water in their carburetor. That's right. It rains into the carburetor, because it was raining a lot, granted, but still, if you're gonna put pods on your cafe racer, make sure that once you figured out the jetting and this and that, make sure you have a set of socks, like what are they called, pod filter socks, with you, which is kind of like a see-through mesh kind of thing, which you put over the AirPod, which will kind of, now it's not waterproof, obviously, and it can still breathe, but it will not allow water to get into the carburetor, which is a good thing. And it sounds crazy. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna get water in your carbs because of rain. You will. You know, all these bikes, they broke down and none of them could ride. So do that. Get socks, pod filter socks, and put that on there. Now, when you put pod filter socks on your filter, obviously you're gonna restrict the air just a little bit more than it would without it. But when that's all said and done, even though they look fancy and you can clear up the underside of your seat and the whole thing, I would not recommend using AirPod filters. I recommend keeping your, which is what I did on this bike, because I had so much trouble with the conversion of to the new air filter on the Cafe Racer. I decided to keep the side panels, painted the side panels black, and put like a cool SR logo on there. And if the panels are ugly, get some other panels. If you can't get panels that look cool, then cover up, get a piece of mesh or a piece of metal, or like I'm going to do on my Cafe Racer now. I'm going to do leather sides under the seat. It's going to look awesome. I saw a Wrench Monkey bike that had that. They had like a battery cover made of leather, and I just completely fell in love with that. And that's what I'm going to do on my... I bought the leather already. I'm going to have to make it myself, though. Because getting a bag that fits perfectly, and it's just pretty much impossible. And on the other side, on the opposite side, where you also can see the filter, I'm going to cover that in leather and make like a bag for my disc lock. It's going to be awesome. I'll show it. I'll show you whenever I'm done with it. Anyway... that's pretty much all I had for you guys today. I just kind of wanted to share that with you because it was raining the other day, and I didn't have my camera with me. I was like, oh man, well I need to talk about that because that's a big deal. You know, getting socks on your pods, or just not using pods at all. That's like a really big deal, because it seems like something you just kind of have on a Cafe Racer, and then it's gonna mess up your trip if you don't do it right. So yep, that's what I had for you. So remember to subscribe and ride, and I'll catch you all later.